Hello, AP Seminar. So today you are going to be working with your Performance Task 1 groups, your official Performance Task 1 groups. Remember, keep in mind that neither myself or Mrs. Sayers or any other teacher in the school is allowed to assist you with the content of your Performance Task 1. However, we can help guide you if you're struggling with how to do things or where to find things. We can help guide. We just can't help with any of the content stuff. So we're not helping you, but we can't help you, if that makes any kind of sense. If ever you're in doubt, you can feel free to ask us a question, but just know the answer may be, we can't tell you. All right, so we're going to talk today about how you're going to start this task, because performance task 1, as we learned in the mock, is not the easiest thing. So we're going to set ourselves up for some success. Before we get to the nitty gritty stuff, just a note about your groups. So Mrs. Sayers and I were the ones who put your groups together. At no point do we put groups together to be malicious for anyone. So if you feel like you were put in a group as a punishment, I can guarantee that is not the case. So our mindset for when we were putting our groups together was to find the best team that will help each other in both their strengths and weaknesses. So if we saw that someone was a very strong leader, we gave them someone that needs a little extra guidance, but not somebody obviously that's going to be a dead weight, because no student will be that. Every student has the potential and capacity to do well. So if you feel like you're in a group that you don't understand why, just know that we thought it through. We took more time than you may think on putting these groups together, and that was done based on your performance in the mock and based on what we see in class time. So just know it was all intentional, and at no point is it any sort of punishment for you. We want everyone to succeed. That is the goal for us throughout the entire year, and we are not trying to create anyone having any issues. If there are problems, now there are problems versus preferences. Preferences are things that I want. Problems are things that are detrimental to me. If there are problems, you can come speak to myself privately before school, after school, between classes, not during class time, and we can talk through those problems. But the groups you have will be the groups you have for the entire performance task. I see no reason to make any changes, but if you'd like to discuss, we can absolutely have a discussion. Anyway, moving on. So today you're going to set yourself up for success, like I said, by setting up group norms. So group norms are the group coming together and deciding how you are going to work well together in order to achieve your ultimate goal, which is to pass performance task 1. Keeping in mind that your IRR is individually graded, but your TMP is group graded. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything throughout the way so that even though the IRR doesn't count for someone else's grade, you need the information in order to do the TMP effectively. So we're going to set ourselves up some group norms today. So a definition for you. I know I'm not supposed to read the slide, but I'm going to. Group norms are guidelines that keep the group working together in the most efficient and effective way possible. I have to move my head because I'm in front of it, even though it's not recording in front of it for you all. So that is our goal for group norms. So some examples of group norms. This is what you probably have done in classrooms before, maybe not in high school, but you've set up group norms before, probably. Things like being on time, showing respect, raising your hand before speaking. Those are norms you establish in a classroom in order to make sure the classroom stays cohesive. Just like when I say the hear you, and you guys reply back, all hail the king, that is a norm, right? That is something we do in order to work together. Sometimes we don't always do it, but that is a group norm. So you and your group are going to come up with these group norms in order to ensure that you are the most productive as possible and to avoid any gaps in your productivity, so to speak. There are some specific criterion for your group norms. Now, you don't have to make them fancy and pretty like this, but if you are the kind of person that does like to do that, I am that person. You're more than welcome to use your Canvas, your Adobe Sparks, your PowerPoints, whatever you want to do to make your group norms fun and fancy. But there are certain criterion you must include, and they are these. So this is the assignment that you will see on Schoology. It's posted in the PT1 folder, which you're in because you've accessed this video, and you will see the group norms assignment there. So there are 5 things, and I have to look at my cheat sheet on the side because I thought I posted all of them, but they didn't all post. Silly me. So there are 5 things that you're going to have to put in your group norms, and you can see this in the assignment itself. 1, you need to discuss how you will assure each group member is on task. So is there a leader of the group that assures that? Is there everyone has a buddy that they hold accountable? What is that for you and your group? How are you assuring that each group member is on task? 2, what measures will keep each member accountable for their part? So do you have weekly check-ins that you need to accomplish in order to make sure everyone's done their part? Are you going to have some sort of email that you guys send every day? Whatever that is for you to make sure everyone's accountable. Now, accountability is making sure that everyone meets certain measures. So, for example, when I have you guys do an assignment that's a big project, I'll have you meet small goals before you get to the big goal, right? You do your topic selection, your annotated bib, you do this before you even get to your IRR completed. That's making sure you're holding yourself accountable to the parts that go into the whole. You should come up with some ideas for how you and your group will effectively do that as well. Check-ins, right? To make sure everyone's staying on task and it's not like all at the end, this person did nothing and now we're in a problem zone. So we're trying to avoid problems. 3, how often and in what way will your team check in and keep everyone on task? So what is the method in which you communicate to check in? Is it an email? Is it a phone call? Is it a text message? Is it WhatsApp? Is it a Snapchat group? Is it whatever you want that to be? It's your group, so whatever effectively works for you and your group. And then how often is that? You should set a timestamp. I would recommend it be at least a weekly thing. For some groups, I would recommend it being more than weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week. It could be a daily check-in every morning, like a thumbs up means you're on task. I don't know, be as creative as you'd like, but make sure you're holding each other accountable and knowing when someone is falling behind so you can pick them up early on. Number 4, how will you settle disputes within your group? So we know that we have different dynamics, we have different personalities, and sometimes those personalities will lead to disputes. We need to find a way to resolve them. Is there a group consensus that a majority will rule in order to create? And if the majority says this, then we all agree to it. Most of us are in groups of 4, so voting might turn into 50-50. So is there a way that we break a tiebreaker? Are we rock, paper, scissors shooting? What is the method in which you will solve your disputes? And that method should not include your teacher. You guys are in high school now. You're mature enough to settle your own disputes. It's a very important task in life. Maybe you guys have a 3-minute conversation. Each side gets to put their side in and we discuss and we better understand. I don't know what that is, but you come up with a way to fix your own disputes, settle them yourselves. And then finally, number 5, how are you in your group collaborating and communicating? Are you specifically using WhatsApp? Are you making sure everything's shared in a Google Drive folder? Are you sharing everything on your OneDrive folder? Are you, whatever that is that's going to be successful for your group, establish that now so that everyone's doing the same thing. So it's not, I communicate with this group member on Snapchat, but I talk to this group member on Instagram, and this group member I talk only in text message, and this one's only email. That's complicated. Find a centralized way to communicate together. That way you guys are always on the same page and no one's lost in outer space. Everyone's zoned in together. So those are the 5 things you must include. If you want to put anything else on there, you're welcome to. If you want to establish something silly that's going to keep you having fun but also productive, go for it. Whatever you want to do, this is for your productivity. Once you've created your group norms, which I'm going to give you a moment now to pause and do that, everyone will submit that group norm as in the assignment, and you'll see the assignment there. And again, it can be a simple word processor, which is the list of your norms. That's fine, or it can be some pretty Canva thing that you want it to be. It's whatever you want, but I just need all of those 5 things in a group norms 1-page document or something so that I can see them, and I know you guys are holding each other accountable. So again, every member must submit that. That will be you agreeing to those group norms. So by you submitting it, you are agreeing to your group's norms. So that being said, I'm going to pause. Well, I'm not going to pause, but I'm going to tell you to pause so that you can come up with those group norms and you guys can come to some consensus. So go ahead and pause now. And now that you have unpaused, let's keep moving forward. So now that you have your group norms, your group is on a productive streak, hopefully, and will continue that productive streak throughout the entire process. Just so you know, and I will put this on Schoology as well, the due date for performance task 1, which is what we're currently in, will be, so it's a couple different dates. The individual research report, your IRR, will be due on January the 9th. That is January 9th, so that is the week after we return from winter break. So you will have up until winter break, all of winter break, and then the week we get back, that Friday. Sorry, not that Friday. It is the Sunday after to submit it by 11:59 on that Sunday. Then you will have a week and a half to work with your groups on your TMP. It's a little longer than I gave you guys for the mock, but it's enough time. So while you're working on your IRRs, you can absolutely be also planning TMPs, and you can obviously submit things earlier, but that will be the due date for the IRRs. And then the TMPs will present from the January the 20th, which I believe is a Thursday, until January 28th. So I gave us a little bit more time on that because don't want to feel rushed like we did for the mocks. So we can have time to set ourselves up and make sure we're being successful, since this is the one that counts towards your AP score. So again, by January 28th, we will be all done with our TMPs, our PT1s. So that was just a note about due dates. And again, I'll put all of this on Schoology, so you have all the deadlines and due dates. You won't submit these things to me because we can't grade them. So we'll have different ways for you to show us that you're getting your work done and different assignments that we can grade. But these deadlines are up to you, essentially. And we'll talk about how to submit them on College Board in the future. So let's move forward. So now that we have our groups and we have our norms, we need to start looking at our topics. We need to start talking about it because we brainstorm topics, but you do that independently without knowing who your group members were. And now you need to figure out what your whole group's topic is going to be, because again, everyone needs to have consensus and a say because you're all working on the same overall goal at the end of the day. So here are 3 steps you're going to do now. So if you're done with hopefully you are done with your group norms, which you should be because you paused and did them. And now whatever time you have left, you're going to spend topic selecting. And there are 3 parts to topic selection. First, share out all your topic ideas. Let every group member go around and share theirs. Don't talk about it, just let them express what their topic they thought would be good is. Give everyone the chance to share anything they want. No interruptions, just let everyone share. Step 2, then you start discussing, oh, I really liked Johnny's because that kind of related to what I said, and I saw something about Stacy's, but I didn't think there was enough lenses. Have that discussion, talk about your whatever issues you might have with topics or whichever ones you think you like. And then step 3 is decide on what that topic is. Remember, your topic needs to have, for almost everyone except one group, 4 different lenses. And we have those lenses. They're all in AP they're all listed in your Schoology page. I'll put them in the PT1 folder. They're in the mock PT1 now, but they'll be in the PT1 folder. You need to make sure that you can have 4 good lenses because everyone's going to have to write their IRR. And some of you for the mock had to do some reaching, right? You had to really try and pull from your topic to make it work with your lens. That should not be the case. Choose a topic now that will work for the 4 lenses very well. Don't let anyone have to climb up a hill by themselves. Make sure everyone is getting a nice, easy way to do their IRRs. So that is what you're working on for the rest of the period. Share, discuss, decide. Have fun.